Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing Battle Chess, where pieces engage in combat. Let's dive in. Alright, we'll start single player and create a new battle. They have different skill levels, so peasant through farmer, then artisan, nobleman, clergyman, and then the final monarch. We'll start with the peasant just to get an idea of how this works, and move onward. Let's battle. Alright, I saw some clips of this. We should be in for a pretty good time. And here we are. This is the battle scene. Look at them all dressed up in the same color. Very, very team-like of them. I do like that. Alright, it seems that we are the blue team. Look at this guy kicking his feet. What, are you bored? Alright, we'll start with D4. Just because we're playing a totally different variant doesn't mean that we shouldn't play the London system. Hello? Oh, that was just so the knight could walk up to f6. Okay, I thought we were getting thrown into the deep end with strange animations already. What are you doing? What? Is this? Stop acting a fool and stand normally. Put your sword away, you're not even in battle. All right, we'll play the bishop up to f4. Oh, he's getting fancy with it as well. What an elegant walk. See, this is what I expect from my team. This sort of elegant walking motion. Not all that silly stuff the pawn on e2 was doing. Right, we're met with pawn to c5. This is a very aggressive way to meet the London system. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that the peasant bot plays like this, but I'm going to play it safe and just play e3 with the idea that should the pawn capture, we can take back on d4, and we kind of maintain that pawn in the center. The knight walks forward to d5, does look at the bishop, but they are moving a piece twice in the opening, generally not advised. We will move the bishop back. I would make the argument that my elegant bishop is stronger than this knight on d5. Alright, we're met with pawn to g5. Finally, we get a sort of Martin move, respectfully, because this is definitely going to be a weakness later in the game. Let's go ahead and... What are you doing? Whoa, did he just... I didn't like whatever that was. It looked like he was floating his wand around. Let's start by moving the knight to f3. I did just say it was a weakness, so we might as well target it right away. Look at this guy doing strongman over here. We are met with pawn to e6, a little bit more of a normal move, and now the queen defends the pawn on g5. And what are you doing? Are you just... Dude, what are these characters doing? He's just posing for nobody, but nobody's watching you. There you go. Pick up your stuff, get back in position. Okay, I'm gonna play this a little bit more aggressively. Let's just push this pawn up to c4, target the knight on d5, and I will definitely take it if the peasant allows. Whoa, we get the queen developing to a5 to give check. Very, very aggressive. We are indeed in check. It shouldn't be a huge issue. We can just block with knight to d2. So we'll go ahead and play that. We get the knight retreating to f6, so it's no longer in danger, but it doesn't seem that there's anybody defending g5, but this is a little bit interesting, because if I take on g5, this pawn on c5 can take on d4, and then the queen is actually looking at my knight. I thought this was supposed to be the peasant. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier, and what are you doing over here acting a fool? Dude, what? I love that they each have like their own little personalities. It's very, very adorable. All right, we'll move our bishop to d3. I'm going to castle out of the way, and then we can focus on being a little bit more creative with our play. The rook shuffles over to g8. Castle available. Well, if you're going to point it out, I am going to accept it. Let's go, Mr. King. Oh, we get a special animation for this. Come here, I got something to tell you. Oh, I love the fist bump. See, our team has camaraderie. The other team just has goofballs. This is why we're gonna win this game. Kingside castle, almost as exciting as queenside castle. Or not even castling at all. Sure, king to e7, because why not? Okay, it's getting to the point that it's a little bit difficult to keep track of which pieces are which. The only reason I know what's going on the board is because I do have a little bit of practice playing blindfold chess, and I can sort of just sit here and differentiate them one by one. But I'll admit it's getting a little bit tricky. Let's bring the rook to e1. I mean, if the king is going to line up in the center, then I have a little friend walking over that would like to meet this king at some point in the future, so we can push our pawns towards the middle. We get pawn to h6. That doesn't create any new threats, so let's push e4 and kind of just dive into battle right away. Uh-oh. All right, it seems this pawn wants to capture us on d4. Okay. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about our guy. That's right. Oh! Oh my goodness. I guess you could say he didn't see that one coming. Oh man, right to the eye is insane. Okay. So we lost that battle. We'll go ahead and use the knight and recapture on d4. We can't get back his eye, but we can get some justice. We have 2 swords. He's only got 1. How close could this possibly be? Ooh, disarmed? And the kick down to the ground. Wow. Got him with the 1-2 buckle my shoe, 3-4, say hello to the floor. That was a pretty good little move we made there. Okay, the queen goes back to b6, targets the knight on d4, which is free at the moment. So we'll go ahead and double down on our central control, play knight to b3. I wouldn't play knight to f3 because there's the idea of g4, boots the knight, and then it would probably have to move over awkwardly, and then hang the knight on d4. Okay, queen to b4 puts us in check again. Oh wait, that's not the king. I guess he should take that as a compliment that I thought this was the king. We get queen to b4, which is, I guess, not consequential at all. How do we continue this attack? Okay, I'm thinking we just bring another rook to c1. As much as I would love to push in the center, I'm not totally sure where our attack actually starts, and I'd like to blame the board for not being very easy to look at, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just missing something. I mean, the king is just sitting there on e7, so there should be something here for me. Question is, what? Okay, let's continue with queen to e2, connects the rooks, we double the queen and the rook on the e file. It's a little bit of a bluff because I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. We get the pawn moving up to b6. This guy's scratching his back with a sword. I've seen better ideas. Wow, 2 swords, why not? Might as well chop off all that back knee. Okay, we can blame my impatience if this doesn't work out, but I'm gonna play f4. Either the pawn takes and I take back with the bishop and we start opening up the position a little bit, or they don't take and we see that they don't because the bishop comes out to a6, and we can probably just push f5. Just looking to open up some lines, looking down at the king. This guy's doing some funny levitating tricks again. We get queen to a4. I'm genuinely surprised that this peasant is playing such good chess. I'd be curious to know what the game review says about the strength elo of this opponent. Let's go ahead and capture on e6. We'll probably just open up the f file or the d file. It won't be the e file anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll get something going against the king. Wow, wasting no time. He said, why don't you come down here and tie my shoe? That one is tough. Wow, clean. You know, this pawn might be in for a promotion. That was pretty slick. Look at that mean mug on his face after as well. You don't want to mess with him. Uh-oh. One of this guy's buddies is coming back for revenge, and I have a funny feeling I know how this ends for our guy. So far, so good. I don't want to get my hopes up. Oh! No scoped! He got him with the spinneroo. Did you see that? Little red guy turned around, no-looked him right in the chest. Achievement unlocked. Brothers in Arms. Witness all 3 pawn versus pawn battles. Oh, nice. We got an award. Don't mind if I do. It cost us, you know, a life, but we got an award, so I'll take it. Okay, so the file that we've opened is the D file, which is a little bit annoying because we have 2 pieces on there and neither of them is a rook or a queen that can actually work down there. So I don't really think it's worth taking off both of these pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle the queen over to f2. I'm being very careful to make sure we're not hanging any pieces. You two with the back scratching, we've got some bad habits on this board. That could not possibly be a good idea. Okay, we get the rook up to g6. Okay, now there's interesting things happening. The bishop can now see the rook if we push the pawn. The rook doesn't defend f7, so we could also just double up and threaten f7 right away. And I think I like that best. No, if I double up now, there's rook to f6, and the knight and the king both defend the rook, which would probably trade off for one of our attacking pieces. So I'm gonna push the pawn forward to e5 first. Look at this guy with the funny tricks. Whoa, pawn to f5. En passant is in fact available. I was curious to see if this game offered en passant. As you guys know, en passant is forced. At least according to some people. All right, come on, take him down. You know what to hit him with. Hit him with one of those 3 moves. We know there's only 3. Oh, this one's gonna be the spinneroo? Nice. Classic. See, that's why our team is so good. We might get got with something, but we'll get the team right back with the exact same little trick. We learn quick on our feet. We also put the king in check. Achievement unlocked. You shall not pass. Complete a pawn en passant. Considering how much I like en passant, that award was coming my way quickly either way. Uh-oh. How many pawns did you eat? We got at least 3 pawns in there. I don't think our guy is going to fare very well. Not the bear hug. Oh. Spine-crushing bear hug. And go to sleep, little guy. Play this man a lullaby. He's gonna be out for a minute. All right, Well played, well played. At least he didn't eat the guy. I mean, that's good. Okay, the rook is now looking at the queen, which is a little bit annoying. It's a tempo for the opponent. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to shuffle the queen back over to e2, kind of getting out of the way. The pawn on e6 does look weak. The square e5 is also inherently weak as well. Whoa, the queen goes for the pawn. Was that pawn free? Oh, don't get seduced by the hips. Please pay attention. She doesn't like you. Oh! Whoa, I didn't see the electro fingers coming. Soul gone to the wind. Evaporated. Okay. Well, it seems that was free, because that's a knight, not a bishop. But the knights protect each other, the queen protects the pawn, so nobody else should be hanging. If anything, that kind of just puts the queen out of play, for now at least. Let's ask our opponent a little question. Let's play bishop to e4, and the question we're asking is, how on earth do you defend that rook on a8? We'll see what the opponent comes up with. The knight shuffles over, so they're willing to lose the exchange, and I think I'm totally fine with that. I will take the bishop and go for that rook. All right, prepare for battle, mister. You bullied our pawn earlier, at least your brother did. And we've now sent a wand-bearing bishop. Whoa, straight forth. Oh, he's minimizing him. No way he got trapped under your own helmet is insane. Oh, look at the walk down. And kicked like a soccer ball. No, we had Messi on our team. I mean, I'll take it. All right, time for retribution by the opponent team. Let's see what he comes up with. Whoa, right through the... Ooh, that's a quick little finish. Oh, 2 in a row. Give this guy a pair of hatchets, not swords. What are you doing with 2 swords? Wow, the step is absolutely disrespectful. I'm not too torn apart by the fact that we lost our magical bishop, because we are up the exchange now, although we have lost a pawn. But our attacking position, I think, more than makes up for it. Oh, not to mention, is this pawn not completely free? That's a bishop, not a knight, so it's just the rook and the king defending the pawn on e6. I have a battery, and I have a knight looking at e6, so that's all mine. All right, come here, little guy. It's funny to me that they made the pawns, like, inherently shorter. Oh, bruh. That's 0 oral left over after that. That's got to be embarrassing. Oh, and the woozy wobble after? Oh, don't even finish him. Just kick him off the board. Yeah, there you go. Wow, he didn't even bother. Did you see that? I'm pretty sure I just gave him a direct instruction and he listened. We get knight coming forward to c7. Is that not also just free? Because last I checked, knights do not defend each other diagonally. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm going to take the knight on c7 and unleash the check with the queen onto that king. All right, we got the frame rate drop a little bit, but we're all right. Oh, poked him right in the tummy. Still standing. Yeah, give him a little assist to fall down. Nice. And we put the king in check. My second favorite thing to do to a king. Any guesses to what the first thing is? The king shuffles over. Okay, there have to be mating ideas here. We have a queen and rook battery staring at e8, which doesn't seem to be defended. That would be check. King to g7 would be forced. And I guess we could just take the slow way out, which is just capturing the knight on b8, but then we drop our own knight on b3. And I'm not really in the business of hanging pieces. So how about this? We'll take the knight, and we might as well start trading pieces because we're up so much material that if we just simplify everything, this is completely winning. All right, whimsical bishop versus foolhardy knight. Whoa, drops both swords and goes for the MMA style knockout. Bishop did not see that one coming. Look at him, folded. And there goes his soul. Nice job, mister. Achievement unlocked, worship my blade. Witness both knight versus bishop battles. All right, we get another knight versus knight battle. I have an unfortunate feeling about how this one might end. Oh, he's doing the same thing again. He just watched you do that. He knows your tricks. Oh, all right, let's get a little boxing match going here. All right, all right. Whoa, 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 that's not boxing, that's kicking. Oh, we got the vertical hit straight down to the ground. He's not making a lot of progress with that crawl, and we got the John Cena WWE to finish him off. Bruh. And spiritual ascension. Good luck with that, buddy. All right, so we got recaptured and another achievement, a knight to remember. Witness both knight versus knight battles. You can definitely tell we're simplifying the position with how many battle achievements we've gotten so far. And who are you waving at? No, mind your own business. Last time you approached one of my guys, you slaughtered him, and that wasn't very nice. Okay, so we're definitely up material. This knight is still hanging on b3. Not really sure what I want to do about this position, to be honest. Let's just centralize the knight. Knight to d4, probably good enough. So the knight is now centralized and obviously no longer hanging on b3. I'm thinking the next idea here is rook to f1, force a rook trade, opens up the F file, and there's probably a checkmate to follow. I'm very excited to see what the checkmate animation might be. Okay, queen to A4 doesn't threaten anything new that I see. The rook on F6 thinks this is all fun and games, so let's meet him with rook to F1 and have some fun. All right, knight develops to C5. Doesn't do anything new that I can see, so let's go for the trade. You've been standing in front of the king for far too long. All right, rook versus rook. I like the belly slaps, that's funny. Oh, just drop those heavy mallets and go sumo. Whoa, the head bonk. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. That guy didn't even have a chance to have his life flash before his eyes. Knocked all the thoughts right out of his head. All right, surely the king will get revenge. Wow, the king doesn't even take back. That rook was free though, so not really sure why that's the case. Okay, now we're definitely looking at checkmating ideas. How do we get there though? Let's play queen to h5, and the idea is queen to g6, king moves over, rook takes f8 is mate. Okay, we get the queen playing defense, queen back to d7. So if we play queen to g6, queen g7 does block that idea. We're also hanging the knight on d4. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of tempted to just play rook to f1, allow the capture, king to h1, and I have no idea how you defend this position at that point. Okay, there's no need for me to do this, but it just fits in with my play style. I feel like I've played this way too boring as it is. We'll play rook to f1, double up on the f file, go for f8, and if we don't get mate here, then my bad for getting a little bit too cocky. All right, queen versus knight. Let's see if she tries to pull the same move. Oh no, she goes straight for the, whoa. She goes for the Darth Vader, holy smokes. Talk about using the force. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's holding on to his swords. Don't make him decapitate himself. Please don't, that's so disrespectful. Just like blast him back or something. No, don't do it. Oh, did she actually just blast him back? Oh, nope. She did, but it was just a setup. Yep. Oh. That's gotta feel some type of way. Yep. All right, you're done. Go to sleep, go to sleep. You tried. All right, the queen takes with check. We'll just move the king out of the way. And again, I don't see how black defends this position. I mean, even if the queen comes back and defends the bishop, I just simplify everything. Okay, they go for knight to d7, which I also thought about. Targets the rook, defends the bishop. But now, does queen to g6 not just work? Yeah, queen to g6, king moves over. I sacrifice on f8. Takes. And that is mate. Queen to g6 with the check. Oh, wait, I didn't think about bishop g7. Please move the king over. Oh goodness, I didn't think about bishop to g7. I probably should have seen that idea. Okay, bishop to g7 is a setback, but a minor one. How do we get past this? Look at this guy acting a fool again, distracting me from my mission. Okay, are we? Yeah, we're still up a lot of material, so in theory, I could just try to trade everything off again. It's such a boring idea, though. Let's do this. Let's go rook to d6. I do have to get this rook out of danger, and with this idea, we hit the queen, and also the knight that has nobody defending it anymore. Uh-oh. We've dropped a pawn, and that queen is going to be looking at that rook over here on f1 in just a second. Oh, she's going to pull the same trick. This time it's fainting. Why would you check on her? You know what? I'm sorry. If your enemy in battle passes out and you go to check on them, you deserve whatever comes after that. Sigh, just a kindred spirit. Did she just stomp her foot and he just evaporated? That was insane. Okay, so the queen shuffles over, captures the pawn, threatens the rook on f1, which would be mate, so we have to be very careful about that idea. Let's just double up the rooks with rook to d1. I think that's a sound idea. Okay, the knight moves out of the way, moves back to f1. Wow, doing a great job of playing defense here. I fumbled it with that sacking the knight idea. Okay, so the queen is targeted. Yeah, I didn't want to have to play it this way, but we'll go queen to d3 and just offer a trade. All right, it seems they have accepted. You can't possibly seduce one queen with another. Whoa! Slapboxing, okay. I did not expect the slapboxing technique. Wow, that crown must be made of pure gold for a knockout as clean as that one. All right, so queen takes queen, fair enough. Rook takes queen right back. All right, get her with the sledgehammer. I'm sick of this queen. I don't like her dirty tactics. She's cracking her neck. Why don't you give her that special chiropractic adjustment. Oh, I don't know if you heard that crack, but there was definitely some sort of adjustment. Whoa! Hopefully she didn't have anything in her pockets. All right, we did take back, and we've dropped the pawn on b2. Are you kidding me? Why are we dropping material like flies? All right, there aren't that many pieces left. I should be able to keep track of all of them relatively easily now. I've got bad news for this pawn. Oh, look at him. You want some Gatorade? He looked tired. Long battle. Oh, thank you so much. What a dummy. And... did he just bless him? He did. Oh, this is a nice little interaction. Oh, it was poisoned. Okay, you know what? Probably should have seen that coming. Yep. Oh, clutch your chest all you want, buddy. You're gonna have to give yourself CPR. Yeah, I've got a bad feeling that you're done. Yep, and cast him away. All right, well, at least you got blessed on the way out. I mean, there's worse ways to end. You know, like chiropractic adjustment that you didn't sign up for. So, bishop does take on b2. Let's play... well, we might as well get a pawn back. Let's play rook takes h6. Little guy, do yourself a favor and just walk all the way off the edge of the board. All right, he wants the smoke. Let's see what comes of it. Wow. All right. He's a golfer. You know what? I respect it. That's probably why he's so strong if he plays golf with a mallet like that. All right, we get pawn forward to g4, which kind of just doesn't do anything. So let's go ahead and pin the knight, kind of with two ideas. Obviously, the first idea is something like bishop to d6, which pins the knight and threatens to win it. The second idea is to kind of get behind these pawns. And if you're going to capture pawns with a rook, you usually want to do it from behind. Okay, fair enough. Bishop to g7 defends the knight, counterattacks the rook. We will just get out of the way. The knight is still pinned. We bring another rook into the attack of these two pawns, which hopefully won't be on this board for too much longer. Oh, pawn to a6, free pawn. Don't mind if I do. Hey, Mr. Golfer, we have another pawn in need of being sunk. Is he looking at his sword like it didn't do anything? Whoa, got him in the bicep. He just took it back out? What do you... oh, the mocking gesture is insane. Oh, you're looking around for help, and you've been whack-a-moled. All right. At least he got a look inside his own chest cavity. That's kind of interesting. Achievement unlocked, Battlefield Bully. Witness all 3 rook versus pawn battles. We have captured a lot of pawns with our bullying rooks. Oh, I was kind of hoping he'd stop right there so I could take him for free. Okay, bishop moves all the way down to a1. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Honestly, I would take the pawn on a6, but it's worth more to me to force winning this knight. So, bishop to d6. The knight is pinned, so we now have 2 attackers. No real choice but to play the bishop back to g7. And even after that, I double up the rooks on the 8th rank, and we force win at least a piece. Okay, nice. Bishop goes back to g7. Rook to b8. There's no way that I can see to defend this knight anymore. And look at this guy. He's like, I'm on the edge of the board. I don't care about what's going on with my pieces over here. All right, we'll go ahead and capture the knight. Whoa. Bishop seeing birdies. Please tell me it's a trap. Nice. That reminds me of those memes where it's like you think the anime character is dead, and then in the last, season finale, he pulls one of those where he opens his eyes. There he is. And down you go. All right, good try though. Probably should have finished this off with the sword. Surely we'll get bishop versus bishop. Oh no, the bishop just moves out of the way. Interesting. Bishop targets the rook on d8. This is probably the lazy way out, but I'm just going to move my bishop back, stop the a5 pawn from advancing, or rather the a6 pawn from advancing to a5. And then when the bishop trades, he basically just does me a favor and simplifies the position. All right, Mr. Rook, you served us well, but it's time for you to go. Hopefully with a little bit of respect to your name. Wow, spear right through the chest. Okay, not wasting any time. Well, that was efficient, I guess. I guess that's a relatively respectable way to go. Achievement unlocked, Ye of Little Faith. Witness both bishop versus rook battles. We have no shortage of faith. In fact, I have faith that this rook will undermine the bishop. All right, come on, Mr. Rook, stand up for your brother. Wow, the belly bump. No way, the reverb from the belly killed him. And then he wiped the dust off his belly as well. That was disrespectful. All right, we are completely winning now. I kind of want to promote one of these pawns, to be honest. There's no real need for it, but it just seems interesting. We'll play check and pick up the pawn on a6 first. Not a lot of places for this king to hide now. Looking around all suspiciously. My friend, your pieces are gone. No real use in looking around. They're not just going to spawn back on the board. The only thing that will spawn on the board is the queen that I'm about to get here on the H-file. Right, we ready ourselves for battle. Easy little blockade. Oh, I love this little animation where he looks at the sword in a very confused manner. All right, we've got the classic bicep attack. We've got the mocking gesture. And that is such a funny way to go. I think that's my favorite animation, just getting cobbled in the head. I mean, at that point, you'd probably want to get summoned off the board. I don't know if you'd want to show your face after that. I don't know if you could show your face after that. Have to pull it out from your chest. We get king to e4. I mean, it's a good attempt at centralizing the king. We'll play h4. One of two things, either en passant and then we just take back, or we just push the pawn. Okay, clearly the opponent has gone for en passant. This h-pawn is as good as gone, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Wow. Okay, right through the eye again. And we'll go ahead and get revenge for our lost brethren. Come here, mister. You've committed an evil deed. And you will pay for it. Nice. Blunt force trauma to the head. Classic. Nice. Clean, simple, direct. Not a lot the opponent could have done about that. Wow, king to f5. I mean, arguably the best move on the board. Because I kind of wanted to play rook to g6, cut off the file, and then I can just push the pawn all the way down. But this makes it a little more interesting. Let's play h4. Recovering g6, recovering g5. King to g4 would be the only annoying move. And of course, that's what the opponent plays. Okay, we'll defend the pawn with the rook. It should still be relatively difficult for the king to actually stop us, and obviously, ultimately, we're going to force our way to the back rank. Okay, king to h3, we can have a little royal meeting here while the pawn continues to make progress. I'm sure there are many things the kings would like to discuss. He walks away from the royal meeting, intimidated by our very royal stance. Let's play rook back to h8. King does come up to g5. He's not doing a bad job of making it hard for us to promote, but we're going to move this bishop back and give check, and that leaves the king with basically nowhere to go. So he's got to move on to one of these light squares. Or I guess back to h4 is probably fine as well. Or sure, back to f6. I don't know how I didn't think of that, but we can kind of write off that move with rook to g8. If king comes back to f7, rook all the way back to g1. We cut off the g file, and then we just promote the pawn. I'm going to be honest, we probably could have finished this game a lot faster by bringing out the king and delivering mate, but it's too tempting for me not to see the promotion animation. All right, come on, mister. Let's put a little pep in our step. Oh, good, he's grunting and everything. Okay, the king has no way to cross the g file. We can just push to h8 and get that promotion. Not to mention, I can get ladder's mate, which some of you that have been on the channel ever since I did my first live stream will remember that ladder's mate is one of my favorite ways to end a game. All right, king up to e7. Let's push again. We are getting very, very close to promotion here. Nice, and promotion with check. I mean, beautiful way to end the game. All right, let's promote to h8. Thank you very much. Don't even bother asking me what I'd like to promote to. You already know what my answer is going to be. It just spawns in a queen. I guess that's fair enough. Probably could have been a little more exciting, but we'll take it. And ladder's mate is now forced in 3, 2. Counting is not my forte. All right, shapeshifter. We did get an award for promoting to a queen. All right, king up to d7, queen to h6 is move number 1. Rook to g7 will be move number 2, and queen to h8 will be move number 3. All right, Mr. King, do not dilly-dally. This mate is forced. All right, come on, rook. I believe in you. 40-yard dash. I think he's got a little more pep. I don't know if it's because he's walking away from us and the perspective is different, but it looked a little bit faster. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, my little friend. Make your way to the back rank. It's forced. Nice, and with that, we can play queen to h8. We've already undressed this king of his entire army, and now we will finish him off by himself. Nice, we do get that ladder's mate and finish the game with checkmate. All right, let's see it. You can run, but you can't hide, my little friend. Not the finger gun. Finger gun right to the hand. Oh, she's packing 2. This one goes to the shoulder, and he seems very... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yikes, that was quite brutal. Wow, blowing the smoke off the gun? I mean, that's class. Absolute class act, and with that, we win the game. Nice. And all 4 of our remaining pieces celebrate. I'm glad they can look past all of their, 12 lost brethren. We unlock the achievement, it is useless to resist. Perform a checkmate on any level. And the peasant, defeat the computer on peasant difficulty. I mean, nothing to call home about, but why not? Well, another achievement, okay. I mean, we're gonna have a book full of achievements by the time we finish this game. Black Widow, witness the Queen versus King battle. Endgame stats, we won with checkmate, my favorite way to win. It took us 40 minutes, probably could have been done a little bit faster. We took 15 pieces, lost 12. I mean, technically, we took 16 if you consider the king got assassinated by the queen at the end. 64 moves, 1 for every square. Average move duration was 13 seconds. We are very efficient. 10 achievements, and our win rate is 1-0-0. Nice, and with that, we win our first game. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below what you guys think of Battle Chess. If there are any achievements I should get in this, should I play online? Should I play more bots? And I will see you guys in the next one.